someone actually showed up here in person, so I'm a couple minutes late. All right, let's give it a little bit of time.
Hi, it's Sarah Loper, just joining a couple minutes late. Sorry.
Hey, that's okay. You said Sarah?
Yes.
Great. Hi, Sarah. So good to see you,
Hi.
kind of.
Thanks. Right?
Absolutely. All right. So we were just giving it a couple more minutes, which is pretty much, it's by, 4:35. So I would love to get started. So perfect timing. We're giving people an extra few minutes to jump on the call. So are you on your phone or the computer? Can you see me?
I'm on the phone right now.
You're on the phone. Okay, great. So we have one, we have my assistant, Megan, is on the call. She's on mute right now. And then I have one of our agents, Brian, actually on the call as well. So really, for all purpose, it's you and me.
Oh, perfect.
So I'd love to just really start quickly with introductions of you, and then I'll introduce myself, and it'll be a little bit more interactive. We did one of these earlier where a few people kind of joined in late. So you might have to bear with me if I have to repeat some things, but I won't backtrack too much just to be conscious of your time. So
yeah, no worries. I'm pretty flexible.
You. Okay, great.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of funny. I worked for Staples for about 14 years. That's actually how I got in touch with Keller Williams. I used to work with Judy Bowman. Kind of collaborating with their Staples account, doing a lot of the print and marketing work. And I've always really had an interest and a passion for real estate. I actually left Staples for about a year and a half, a few years back, and I got into leasing apartments. So that was I thought that would kind of be my dabble into the real estate world. And that was kind of at the lull of the market. When was that? Probably like 4 or 5 years ago, when it was just a really rough buyer's market. So I ended up getting recruited back to Staples as a B2B outside sales rep, where I was for the last, 2 or 3 years. Loved every second of it. Just really it was really unique in a way because I got to pretty much own my own business. It was under the umbrella of Staples, but I was allowed the flexibility and freedom to really just drive the business and get creative. And I really enjoyed that aspect of it. But of course, in the back of my mind, I've always been really into interior design. All my friends call me whenever they're buying a house, like, come with me to see this one, come with me to see that one. So I'm like always tagging along with them and their realtors and never getting paid a dime on it. So then finally I'm just like, why am I doing this for other people and like helping all these other agents close houses when I could just be doing this myself?
Good for you.
So yeah, so back in September, things were a little rocky with Staples. I'm sure you've heard, it's been all over the news. So they were actually sold, they went private. So with that brought some instability, and I was just like, you know what, like now's the time. So I started taking my real estate classes. I completed those in December, and I take my state exam, I believe in 2 weeks. I'm still waiting for PSI to give me the green light to schedule it. So
woohoo! Almost
yeah,
done.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm pumped.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is great. Oh my gosh. I remember that feeling. I was nervous, but once it was done, it was like, I'm done. I don't have to think about this stuff anymore. So
yeah, it's funny.
Great.
Everybody in like, I went to the national real estate place over here in, what is it, Cromwell, Middletown. And there were like 60 people in my class. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And everybody was like freaking out for the class exam. And I'm like, why are you guys so nervous? Like, this is so, I don't know. So it just, I guess it all came together really naturally for me. So maybe I'm just really fortunate, but I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not really nervous
awesome.
for the state exam. I think I got this. Yeah.
Good.
It's one of those,
Good.
I feel like I've just been like born and bred to do this. So let's just
get it over with.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh,
yeah.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Cool. So what I would love to do, I'll tell you who I am, and then I would love to just dive right in and tell you all about KW. If you want to go on mute, feel free. I know you're driving. So the least distracted you can be, that would be great. So
I spend my day on conference calls in the car, so we're good.
Oh, so you're used to this. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So, and then what we can do too is if at the end, I'll tell you a bunch about KW, and then you can ask me any questions at the end as well.
Okay.
So my name is Andrea Gustanucci. I am the team leader at Keller Williams Realty. So other brokerages would call my role kind of a office manager. Yet it's so much more than that. So my job is to help people like you get into real estate and partner with KW. It's also for me to help our existing agents grow in their business in whatever way, shape, or form that would be. So my role is a lot of coaching and consultation as well with our agents. So I'm extremely passionate about what I do. I love this company. I'm blessed in the fact that I started with Keller Williams as an agent. I initially started as a buyer agent on a team, and within a year was finding that the growth opportunity I was looking for wasn't really there on the team. So I went off on my own. Doubled my business, was Rookie of the Year that year. And then right when I was ready to pull the trigger, if you will, on building my own team, I was approached for the leadership position that I'm in now. I'm extremely fulfilled in this position, and I love talking to people just like yourself, and I love the energy that it sounds like you have for real estate. So I'm excited to be on the phone with you tonight. So Keller Williams, I'm just going to dive right in. So Keller Williams Realty was started by an amazing gentleman named Gary Keller out of Austin, Texas in 1983. He actually had another small brokerage that he owned that was actually bought out and found that probably within about a month or two of it, having his associates get acclimated and everything, he kind of looked around and saw that everybody was pretty unhappy. So he, feeling like he failed them, pulled them all into a boardroom one day. It was probably a group of like 10, and said, you guys, listen, I don't want to see you be miserable. This is a great opportunity. I want to do this again, but I need your help and feedback. So he asked, what is, some feedback you can give me that we can then build a brokerage that people want to come to and never want to leave. So the feedback that he got were three big things. One was the culture. Culture was huge for everybody in that room. They wanted it to be an open book company. They wanted it to have a family feel, everybody helping everyone else succeed. And that is exactly what he created in 1983, and it's still something we do today. We are, in Keller Williams Greater Hartford, a really tight-knit group of people. Everybody's willing to help each other, no matter what level you're at, whether it's your first day on the job or, you're coming in and transitioning from another brokerage into Keller Williams. So no matter what, we're all here for each other. And we do pride ourselves in the culture that we create in our offices. Two of the other things that they brought up was, one, obviously, they wanted more money. They wanted to make more commissions. So Gary Keller agreed to do a 70-30 split, 70% going to the associate, 30% coming to the brokerage. We're going to dive into that a little bit later with a little more explanation, and you can ask any questions around that at that point as well. And the other thing, and I don't know if this was by accident or if Gary is just genius, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards, but the opportunity for those associates to share in the owner's profit was the last thing that they brought up. So Gary had to think about it a little bit, and he came up with the idea of something called profit share. So I'm not sure if you've done some research on KW, you might already know this, but anybody who comes to Keller Williams has to name someone as their sponsor for, whoever is most influential for bringing them into the company. So I know you mentioned how you were familiarized with KW, so it would probably be that person for you. So when you come in, you name her, and when you have a closing and our market center is profitable, she would actually get a check from our owner's profit. Our owner, Matt Erdman, gives back 48% of his profit every single month to associates that help Keller Williams grow with like-minded people. So the fun part is that you too can get profit share. So if you have people in your class that you hit it off with who don't know where they're going, or maybe they do and would be open to have a conversation about KW, you bring them in, they name you as their sponsor, they have a closing, we're profitable, you get a check the 21st of each month that they have a closing. So
wow. Is that something that kind of carries on across the country? So through any KW? Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. So that's every KW. That's a great question. And that being said, anybody, like if you have just, a random example, if your sister was living in California and was, a realtor or wanted to get into real estate, and she decides to join KW out there, she can still name you as her sponsor, even though she's in California. So every time that she has a closing and their market center out there is profitable, you would get a check through profit share from her market center. So it's actually international. It would go for any, profit share is within the US and Canada. International, it's called growth share. So it's just a different algorithm that they use. There are a couple different things. I think that is paid quarterly, not monthly, the growth share, because it's international monies. It's easier for them to do it all at 1 point, or 4 points, I should say, throughout the year instead of every single month. So there are a little bit, there are some differentiating factors in growth share versus profit share, but it's still the same concept, which is awesome.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah. All right. So the other things I would love to tell you about KW is that we are the #1 training company in the U.S. We are ranked by a third-party company, so it's not me hanging a neon sign out front saying we sell the best coffee. It is legit. We are ranked amongst many different industries as well. So it's not them just taking the real estate industry and ranking us all. It is across all industries. So for example, Jiffy Lube is #2. So we, they don't sell houses and we don't fix cars, but we still fit in the same training category because of what we have in place. So I do have one other person on the line right now. So I'm going to do a quick screen share so he can see the Keller Williams calendar. And I'm just going to touch on this quickly. I know you're driving, Sarah, so you're not going to be able to see this.
Yeah,
but,
no worries.
I just wanted. Okay, great. So we have a Keller Williams training calendar that you will have access to on something called the intranet. So that is actually, once you're an agent with us, you can log into this at any point and check out the training we have for this month. And we literally go out as far as we can with things. So we're in January now, if I skip to February, you'll see that we have some things scheduled already as well. And the way this works, you just click on something and it brings you to a new page that gives you more information about where the class is being held, who the instructor is, how long it is, and how to RSVP. So these are free trainings for our agents. There are occasionally trainings that we have come in where we might, have someone that we're paying to come in. So we would kind of share the cost, if you will, with our agents. We'll pay a portion of it, and then there's a small ticket price to get into things. But again, this is huge for us. We really pride ourselves in the training we offer. That being said, we also have something called the Productivity Coaching Program within our very own market center. So we have a total in our franchise in Connecticut of 6 locations. We have West Hartford is our market center. And then we have Glastonbury, Farmington, Simsbury, Mansfield, and Wallingford as our business centers. So you as an agent working with us, you'll have access to all of these. You actually, can literally access them at any time, day or night. You'll have codes to get in. So if you're, showing a house by Yukon, you can actually, pop in there if you're, they're ready to write an offer. You can use that office space and print there and everything like that. You'll have internet access as well. So that is about our locations. That being said, our productivity coaching program is out of our market center, which is West Hartford. So our coach, Susan Donnelly, is one of the top ranked coaches in Keller Williams Realty for productivity coaches. So we're truly blessed to have her a part of our KW family. It's her job to pour into our agents anywhere from production level 0 to 4 million and help move them into production and beyond as quickly as possible. So basically getting sales as quickly as possible. And what we did for that is actually tied her commission to your success. So she doesn't get paid unless you do, which is great. It makes her want to make you successful, and it makes you want to be successful as well. So you don't pay her. It's a year contract. You don't pay her until you have a closing. And once you do have closings, it's 5% of each closing. So this would just be, honestly, you don't miss it. It comes right off the top. It might be a couple $100 a closing. I was a product of the coaching program when I was an agent. I'm so thankful for that program. It got me going way quicker than I expected to be as an individual agent coming in, not knowing a thing. So that is our productivity coaching program. And 2 other things I want to touch on about Keller that, one thing is just that you can do commercial and residential. You're not pigeonholed into one thing or the other. They are different beasts. So we have, personally, I would never want to touch commercial, although they always say never. But it's just not my thing. I'm more of a residential person. But you can be an agent with us, getting the license that you're getting right now, the practice and principles. After you take the PSI exam, you can be a commercial or residential agent with that test. So we support both here. The other big factor that we feel sets us apart from other companies is something called the Agent Leadership Council. This is a group of individuals that are in the top 20% of our agent body. And it is seriously, it's a servant leader position. They are plugging in at a high level. They are producing at a high level and, within their businesses, and they are pouring into our agents. The way they do that is representing different committees that they all run or are on. I can't say my favorite one because I love them all. They're all amazing and beneficial, but one of the ones I really enjoy is called Red Day. And this is a day where internationally Keller Williams shuts down and gives back to the community where they live for an entire day. So for us, our Red Day, it's usually the beginning of May. We have a huge slew of us dressed in red t-shirts in jeans with hats on, and we're going to volunteer back in our community. We've done things with Camp Current, where we're painting things, we're raking leaves, we're pouring new sand for the volleyball courts. We've done things with Sarah Stops Hunger, which is an amazing organization created by, I believe she was 11 when she started a nonprofit for feeding the hungry in Connecticut. And we partner with her and, make meals as a group that we can give back to our local community. So Red Day is one of my favorite days of the entire year, and something that really impressed me about Keller that I don't really, or I hadn't heard with other companies. So the ALC is who also is a liaison, if you will, or the people who communicate any concerns for our agents to our ownership and leadership. So there's always that, easy connection to anybody that you need to talk to. Of course, we're open book company, so you can reach us in terms of leadership pretty much at any time. And then sometimes bigger issues come up. Just to give an example, and I'm not going to name any specific names, but there was a large company that we were working with, one of the big names, like a Realtor.com or a Zillow or whatever, that we were able to have an account with, that we were featured on their website, like a step above what everybody else was. It was kind of like a package deal. Other agents could purchase it separately, but KW bought like a big package where we were all able to benefit from it. And that contract actually ran out. And what happened was, it would have cost, if we continued with it, we would have had to up our fees, our monthly agent fees, to like $300 a month. And, the Agent Leadership Council came together and talked to leadership. They, expressed concerns about losing the featured spot, if you will. They expressed concerns about keeping it and the cost to our agents who may be brand new and don't have a big marketing budget, and how that would be unfair to them. And they inevitably decided that it was best for the entire agent body and population to not have to enroll in that. So they were able to, speak on behalf of the entire agent population, which is huge in terms of, communication and making sure that we stay as a company agent centric. That is who we are. Keller Williams Greater Hartford, I will say, is a very amazing group of people. We have an amazing staff who's dedicated to serving our agents at a high level. We are always tweaking things and changing things and making sure that our agents are getting what they need from us. We are in the top 50 market centers in all of Keller Williams, so it is a really exciting thing to be a part of. We have about 400 agents out of our 6 locations here in Connecticut, and we are a fun group of people. So that is my spiel on Keller Williams and KW Greater Hartford. So Sarah, I don't know if you have any questions what I would love to do next is, again, I know you're on your phone, but I do have another screen share of some fees and breakdowns. So I'll go over that next. But do you have any questions at this point?
No, it all sounds great. I love the culture. That's a huge thing for me.
Awesome.
Being with Staples for so many years, that was like a huge part of what kept me there. So it's refreshing to know that Keller Williams has similar values as far as that goes.
Absolutely. Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So far,
all right,
cool.
All right. So I'm going to break into the fee thing. And what I will have Megan do is actually send you an email. I'm fairly sure you RSVP'd to this, right?
I believe so.
Oh, I'm losing you a little bit. Sorry.
I believe I did RSVP.
Okay, great. So I'm going to have Megan, if we don't have her contact information, if you could just pop on really quick and let me know and we'll get that. But I think we do. If we have it, don't pop on. What I'll do is actually email you the sheet that I'm talking about right now, so you can take a look at it when you get to where you're going. But I just do want to touch on it. So we have a $92 monthly fee. Some brokerages will call it like a desk fee or whatever. We call it a market center fee. So there's a slew of items that is included in this monthly fee that you will need, as an agent practicing, and being a professional in real estate. These are things that will absolutely help you. So we have a program called Showing Time that, as an agent, if you have a property on MLS that you're selling, other agents can go into this program called Showing Time and request the showing. You can have it go to your clients to accept or decline, or to you to accept or decline, depending on what the situation is. And the same goes for you as an agent. You can go into this program and request showings at other properties. It just makes it so much easier than having to call the office, get in touch with the agent. The agent has to call their clients. The clients have to call back to approve. You have to call your client. Like, it's just crazy. So this makes it really streamlined and so much more efficient to request to see properties that are on the market. The next thing is called Toolkit CMA. This is a competitive market analysis toolkit. So what you would do is, before going on a listing appointment, in order to know how to price someone's home, you're going to want to, pull some comps from the MLS to give a price suggestion. This program is amazing because you can actually import those comps from MLS into this Toolkit CMA, and it creates a 54-page document that you can pick and choose the pages. You don't have to keep them all, but it gives pricing strategies, marketing strategies, how to prepare for an open house, what my promise is to you, comps, the pictures of the comps, a map location. So it really sets you apart from other agents in the industry who don't have this program, because most of them are just showing up with MLS sheets most of the time. So this gives you an opportunity to look professional. It's branded to you, your photo, your contact info, and really allows you to look very professional right from the gate, which is awesome. We also have a third-party company who does all of our for sale sign up and down posts, or sign posts up and down. So they will, you're not out there digging a hole in the ground in this kind of snowy or rainy weather that we have in New England. This will really allow you to just focus on the sales part of your job. So they store your for sale signs, and you just send them the request. They'll go and put them up, and once it sells, they'll go ahead and take it down and store them back again. Side note here, KW is huge about supporting our agents and branding themselves. So you will see when you drive around and you see for sale signs, it is that company's logo and branding, not that agent. There might be a rider hanging off that might blow off in the wind, but Keller Williams allows you to brand yourself on our signs. There are a few different templates to choose from. You get to put your photo on there, your logo, whatever it is you want, with your contact information.
Oh, I know. That's all I used to partner with Judy doing was like, oh yeah, no, that's all I know. We were actually, Judy and I were working on a program for the signs to make it easier for agents to order. That was kind of like my legacy with her, was like working on that program.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately, Staples wasn't able to do anything. Yeah. So as far as like the marketing aspect, I've memorized the KW branding book, so
yep.
I'm good to go.
I love it. Well, you're a step ahead already.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Cool. So so it is a tax deduction. It is a business expense when you purchase your own signs. Some companies will provide them for you, but again, that's because it's their own branding. So just as a heads up about that usually comes up as a question. Same with business cards. You get to, do whatever you want as long as it says KW on it. I shouldn't say whatever you want, but you know what I mean.
Yep.
So we have something else that all agents should have is called errors and omissions insurance. This is, a insurance that protects you while you're showing homes. It protects your clients that you're working with. God forbid something should happen. You slip and fall, someone gets hurt, whatever. It covers you. So this is something you absolutely want to make sure you have in KW. This is included in the $92 per month. We have Michael Lewis Marketing Suite, which is a online platform that gives you a boatload is probably an understatement. And I'm sorry, I'm getting a message from our little group me thingy here that we're on the Zoom. Okay. So we are Michael Lewis Marketing Suite is a online platform that you have a bunch of templates that you can choose from to market yourself. So anything from just listed, just sold, open house, client event, appreciation events, anything like that. It's already on here. You can just download it and make it your own, again, branded to yourself, which is fabulous. So it sets you apart from, having to recreate the wheel on any kind of marketing material. It's already done for you. Of course, we have scans, copies, faxes, phones, TV, Wi-Fi. We also have voicemail and internet that's included for every agent and our $92 per month. And the last two things for the 92 is actually something called eAgent. This is a mobile app that is customizable to you amongst a couple other things like a website as well for lead capturing. The mobile app is branded to you. So if you have ever had an app on your phone or know someone who might have been looking for a home and they had Zillow or Realtor.com on their phone and they were searching through those apps to look for a home, it's the same thing, except this is branded to you. So it's all of your contact information. If somebody requests a showing on someone else's listing through your app, you will still get the notification that they requested it. It won't go to the other agent, which is very cool. And the last thing is eEdge. It is a database program that you can import all the people you know, love, and trust, and know, love, and trust you. And what we do is help you work your database and launch your business as quickly as possible through these people, because that we see a bigger and quicker turnaround in terms of you being able to get into business and production when you work with these people in your database. So that's just a program that you can use to send email drip campaigns. You can do mailings from there. Any kind of custom marketing as well is also available. So the next thing I want to talk about quickly is the commission structure. Keller Williams has a 6% royalty fee that goes to Keller Williams International. It is capped at $3,000 per year. So what that means is 6% of each commission check goes to Keller Williams International, and you stop having to pay that in your anniversary year within 1 year when you reach $3,000. Okay. And then it resets your following anniversary year. So it's a yearly thing, but it's awesome that they don't take from us forever. It just is a cap at $3,000. And our Keller Williams Greater Hartford split is a 70-30 split. 70% goes to you, the agent, 30% comes to us, the brokerage. And we call that company dollar. 30% is company dollar. We also cap that. That gets capped at $30,000 per year. So again, once you hit that $30,000 mark, we stop collecting that 30%, which means you make 100% commission until your anniversary date and you reset again. So, excuse me, that is in typical brokerages there, and I know you can't see this example, but most of the brokerages have a company dollar that they take forever and ever and ever and ever and never stops. Out of every single commission, you pay company dollar, some kind of a split, if you will. So KW also sets itself apart by stopping that and capping it at $30,000. So you are able to make 100% commission until it resets your following year. So again, I know you can't see this part, but we will send this to you, Sarah. If the average home sold is $210,000 and the average commission was 2.7%, your gross commission income would be $5,670. So that's before any split with the company, any taxes taken out, anything like that. Again, traditional brokerages, especially for new agents, they'll still have their 6% royalty and a 50-50 split. Again, they take that forever. So your net take home would be $2,494.80. Where at KW, it's a 6% royalty, 70-30 split. Your net would be $3,628.80. And the difference in that from the traditional brokerage to us is $1,134. So it's significant. I have a lot of people who are pretty impressed by this, especially when they're coming from another company where this wasn't offered to them. So I always like to mention that and go over that. Again, we will email that to you so you have a copy and you can take a look. But otherwise, do you have any other questions or anything that I might not have touched on during this chat that we've had?
No, I think you touched on pretty much everything. That commission split is pretty awesome.
I know.
It's crazy. I've actually had a couple like random like one-off brokers contact me just that I've known from random connections. And that's what KW offers is unheard of.
Yeah, it's the truth, especially not for nothing, but especially for brand new agents.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess for my concern came in with a lot of the brokers that have contacted me is like, I'm not a rookie salesperson. Like, okay, I may have not have ever sold real estate, but as far as like closing a deal and like finding leads and doing all that, like I kind of feel like I should be compensated for that. So it's awesome that KW like recognizes that from the get-go. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's straight across the board, whether you're a new agent or you're a multi-million-dollar producer transferring over. Yeah. Yeah, so it's an even playing field for everybody too, you know, and everybody has the opportunity to earn 100%, which is fabulous.
Yeah, that's great. I think it's pretty good. I guess I'm just curious what the next step would be as far as like reaching out to local brokers, and then just kind of figuring out which team would be a good fit and all of that.
Absolutely. So the next step for you, obviously, is to take your state exam. We can't do anything until you have that. Once you pass that, you'll get 2 pieces of paperwork from PSI. You can bring those into any of our office locations. Give us a heads up that you're coming, just so we know. We're open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, I should say. But we can, get your paperwork signed that you're coming on to Keller Williams. You take that to the state. And then we let our agent service coordinator, Jess Giordano, know that you're, doing that. You're taking everything to the state, and she'll send an intro email to set up a time to chat with you to start the onboarding process. So now, the state shouldn't take more than 24 hours to be in the system, depending on the time of day you go or if it's a Friday. They are quicker other days, compared to Fridays. And what we'll do is after it shows in the system through the state, we would be able to start the onboarding process with you and, go walk you through everything, answer any questions, get your logins, your email, and get you going. We'll get you going as quickly as possible, plug you into training, and that's it. Yeah.
As far as onboarding, I mean, what's the typical timeline for that sort of thing look like?
Right now, it's about 3 days, business days.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you should be up and running. So it also will depend on you, because Jess is going to need a ton of information from you, which I don't want to scare you on that one. It's not too overwhelming, but, just to give you a heads up. So as quickly as you get information to her, she'll be able to get, there's Judy.
Hi, Sarah.
Judy.
Hey, Judy, how are you?
She's saying hi. I have my earbuds in, so she can't hear you. Okay, thank you. We're almost done. So, Judy was here, so she popped in.
That's funny.
So it's about 3 business days right now, and of course that's going to depend on how quickly you get the information back to Jess. So if she sends something to you and it takes you 3 days yourself to get her or something, and obviously it's going to prolong everything. So the expectation we set for our agents coming on is if you get your stuff done in about 24 hours or less, we'll be able to process it so much quicker for you.
Awesome. Great. Cool.
All right. Any other questions? That was a good one.
No,
I know, I'm so excited too. Well, I just can't wait to meet you in person.
I know. I'm actually probably going to be in West Hartford next week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll probably pop in to see Judy. So if you're in the office, I'll be sure
do. Yes, that would be great. Absolutely. We do have, are you working during the day right now?
I am, yeah. I'm in outside sales, so I'm like always on the road and in and out of random offices. So.
Okay.